Welcome to Unveiling Truth, a safe space for women, especially women of color, to navigate the complexities of toxic workplaces, workplace trauma, and just being a woman in the workplace. My name is Stephanie, and today we're going to talk about strategies to help you in your toxic workplace or to heal from workplace trauma. Before we dive into strategies, I want to reflect on my personal journey through having a toxic workplace and actually being traumatized by my workplace. And I want to acknowledge the emotional toll that takes on women. And we're often told that we shouldn't be emotional and that we should come to work and we should leave our emotions at the door and we should leave our families and our whatever we have going on outside of work, outside of the door. And though I agree with that to an extent, I want to be real clear that when women, and especially women of color, work in toxic workplaces where people don't value us, and where people don't appreciate the work that we bring to the table, our ideas, our work ethic, that is traumatizing in itself. It creates a very toxic environment where imposter syndrome sets in and where we begin to not believe that we are the women that we are. And in my own personal journey, I suffered from that really bad, and I don't want to see other women suffering from that. I don't want other women to have imposter syndrome on something beautiful that they've created through their tears. I don't want women to suffer with low self-esteem because a man or another woman is jealous or is intimidated or fears that woman in a way where they have to tear her down so that her excellence doesn't shine through. So strategy one is all about building a support system, which women are horrible at. We are good at having, girlfriends. We're good at, being married or having a boyfriend or maybe even being a mom. But we are not great with using those people to be our supports. Your husband, your boyfriend, your partner, they should be with you in this life. And they should be so much of a support to you that no matter what happens at work, when you come home to them, they are safe. They make you feel safe. They make you feel loved and appreciated and accepted, because you can't be traumatized at both home and at work. When it comes to building a support system as well, it doesn't necessarily need to be family. I want to be really clear that a support system can be a mentor. It could be an advisor. It can be a friend. It can be someone that you look up to, that you really are gleaming advice from. It doesn't necessarily always need to be people who live in your home, but it needs to be people that you can reach out to periodically when you get stuck or when you feel bad or when you're having a really challenging day, so that they can listen to what you have to say, filter through it from an outside looking in perspective, and be able to give you sound advice. Or simply just listen. Your support system should be there to really support you. Now, they don't always have to offer you advice. That's not necessarily the key goal of having a support system. But what is important about your support system is that they are there to support you, whatever support you need and whatever that looks like for you. For me, I articulate what I want from my support system. So for example, my husband, when I want him to just listen, I tell him this is just a listening moment. Can you just hear me out? And he won't give me any advice, because most of our husbands, most of our partners are fixers. They want to fix things. But sometimes I don't need it fixed. I just need you to listen. And then when I do want him to fix it, or I do want him to give me advice, I tell him, I welcome any feedback that you have as well. So he'll listen to me and then he'll give me advice or he'll try to fix it for me. But you've got to be really clear what you want from your support system so that they can support you the way that you want to be supported. Do not make assumptions that people know how to support you. Tell them how you want them to support you, and they will be the best support that they can for you. My favorite topic and strategy number 2 is mindset and self-care. Okay, ladies. Let me shuffle in my seat a little bit. So I want to talk about mindset first. We can do nothing in this world if we don't first put our emotions and our mind to it. And what I mean by that is, if you don't feel good about the thing that you are doing, then in your mind, you are already setting yourself up for failure. I've got to go into work today because I got to pay these bills, or I have to, my son is in football, or my daughter's in dance, and all of this costs money, so I have to do. Like, when you walk in life with that type of attitude, you're going to receive that as well. So you're going to feel beat up and torn down in everything that you do, even though you're doing something really beautiful for your son or your daughter who's in dance, or your son who's in football. Those are really great things, and they set our kids up for success. But we have to change our mindset and how we view the things that we do for the people that we love. Instead of saying, oh my God, I gotta go to this job, it's, you know what? I get an opportunity to go to this job to make money to provide for the children that I love. You still don't have to like the workplace, but you just change your mindset about what you're doing when you go there. There's a means, there's a purpose for why you're going there. And then eventually, if you really don't like that workplace, you really need to be finding somewhere else you want to work. But mindset is more than just about changing how you view things. It really is the catalyst for living a really great life. The trauma that we go through can really depress us and make us down and put us in places that we really shouldn't be in. Imposter syndrome, depression, anxiety, taking medication. If we would take some time in mindfulness, really adjusting our mindset for the positivity of ourselves and our lives and the people around us, you will see that impact your life. I talk about mindset and mindfulness and self-care in my other podcast, which is called In Her Evolution. And I also have a blog that goes along with that. So that's my side hustle, separate, love self-care. But if you want some more ideas, you can go there to see those ideas. The next part of this strategy number 2, is the self-care part. Self-care is really about taking care of yourself. Remember what they say to you when you get onto an airplane. They say the oxygen mask will drop from the compartment if we lose cabin pressure. Please make sure that you put on your oxygen mask first before you assist anyone else. That is so true in life. If you do not put your oxygen mask on first and you put it on for everyone else, you are going to be the one that ends up dying. You are the one that ends up suffering. While everyone else is comfortable, they're breathing well, and they're still thriving in life, you're struggling. And I get it. For women, it is so hard for us to turn off the switch of I have to do for this, and I have to cook, and I have to clean, and I have to work, and I have to take him to football practice, and I've got to, make this presentation, and my boss doesn't like me because I'm a woman. Like, I get all of the pressures of life. I really do. And that's why it's so important for us to take time out, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't even care how much time you take or don't take, but take something. Even if it's an extra long shower. Instead of taking a quick, let me wash up and get out, spend the extra 5 to 10 minutes in the hot water and let it just be on your back or on your head or on your neck to just drain the day away. You've got to find self-care things that maybe fit within your schedule, but you've got to make time to do them, because if we don't, ladies, we will not be around to see our children grow up. We will not be around to get partners or, start that new business venture or get a promotion. Whatever it is that you're seeking to do in life, if you don't take some time for self-care, you are going to burn out. And you are going to burn out hard. And then the next strategy number 3, is all about figuring out a plan to move forward. I've built a support system. I've worked on my mindset. Maybe I've done some mindfulness, some meditation. I've researched that. I'm doing some self-care, even if it's only for 5 minutes. And now it's time for me to create a plan to move forward. So I'm changing my mindset. I have self-care. I built my support system. Now, what does the next day look like? What does the next week look like? What does the next month look like? What does it look like moving forward in the next 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years? And start to create your plan for your life. Like, we create our lives, ladies. No one else does that for us. Now, life comes and beats us up a little bit, so it makes us feel like we're getting off track, but we only get off track when we allow it to get off track, not when other people determine it for us. I am so old school. I love a good journal. Even though I have all the bells and whistles of an iPad, a laptop, a computer, I still love the feel of a journal in my hand and being able to write my thoughts from the day, my intentions for tomorrow, or even my plans for the future. A journal is going to be a really great tool for you through this journey of being in a toxic workplace or healing from workplace trauma. So to recap, being in a toxic workplace and healing from workplace trauma, you have to acknowledge the emotional toil that it takes on your life. So do not feel bad about being emotional about something. Take your moment, reflect on the emotion, feel what part of your body it's coming from, acknowledge it. I feel sad, I feel hurt, I feel angry, I feel upset, I feel dismissed. Whatever that feeling is, acknowledge it. It is real. Then go to your other support strategies. Building your network or going to seek support from your network. Working on your mindset and self-care. And then finally, creating a plan to move forward. I hope that this was helpful for you today as we all, myself included, work through toxic workplaces and healing from workplace trauma. As I create a platform for women, I'm going to be doing some interviews with women who also want to speak out about their workplace trauma. And I am really excited to be able to offer this safe space for women. I 100% support women who are experiencing or have experienced the same things or even worse than myself. I am not afraid of retaliation. I am not afraid of what comes because I know I live my life with integrity. And so I want to be able to be a space for women to be able to heal from the things that they experience in their workplaces, especially women of color. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. I wish you the most wonderful week that you have ever had. And if you want more information about mindset, mindfulness, and self-care, you can visit my website at inherevolution.com. I also have a YouTube podcast where I talk about self-care tips as well. Please take care of yourself, ladies, and I'll see you next time.